everybody, Tony D. Little Jones asleep on the couch, so I'm just going to run down some of the headlines here, see what's going on elsewhere in the world. If you're over at Gab Trends, there are a few articles about the infamous election. Honk, honk, wink, wink. You might want to check them out if you're following that. I didn't want to make a separate video for BitChute and Rumble today. It's my birthday. Get off my back. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to see people die. Houston police chief slams removal of mask mandate. No surprise. The cities all tend to be Democrat, and they always go against the Republicans. So, what can you do? You already know the people's opinions before they even say them. African American youth murders white Black Lives Matter activist to steal dirt bike, according to Big League Politics. Not good. Ohio Catholic school teacher fired after she disputes how George Floyd died. Well, that's weird. First off, I think if you're a teacher, you really shouldn't talk about politics these days. Not that it was ever safe to do so, but if you have any kind of controversial opinions, I mean, you know, being out in public as a teacher is a bad idea because your students are always there and students are always on the internet. So they see you. I'm telling you, it's not a good thing. Disney blocks young children from watching offensive movies like Peter Pan, Dumbo. I believe they killed the Aristocrats, a couple other classic movies too. They're in a purity spiral. I fully expect Disney to put some of those classic movies into After Dark Disney or whatever. Perhaps they'll do a specialty channel called Racist Disney and start running Song of the South again. I don't know. But it's just crazy how woke things are getting. It's just I'm done with Disney myself. I mean, I saw a great video from the Critical Drinker on WandaVision, and I effing knew WandaVision would eventually be a disappointment. Everybody was telling me, oh, it's great, you gotta watch it. I looked at that trailer and I said, old TV shows, nah, there's no new ideas here. And I think his assessment bore me out because it turns out WandaVision had a really, problematic ending, I'll say, to the first season. I don't know if you saw it yet. You watch it, that's your business. But I'm not giving Disney any more of my money. Sorry. George Floyd death started with an arrest for a misdemeanor. Petty crime needs a rethink, according to NBC News. Well, sure. I guess if petty crime's no big deal to you over at NBC News, maybe you won't mind people drifting through the studio and stealing an iPhone here or a lunch there, or I'm sure you guys will be just perfectly fine. Oh, there's a little petty crime. Oh, that's life in the big city. Oh, something was stolen from my desk. Oh well. Just get over your petty crime issues. There's bigger issues here. Yeah, right. The problem is, I keep saying, cops have too much power, and power corrupts. It's not that they're bad. It's just that power corrupts them. It's also true that there's too many laws on the books for them to enforce, so they end up enforcing them unequally. You know, they've got literally thousands and thousands of laws. Most people break 2 or 3 laws a day, easy. You can't enforce them all. The solution then is to cut back the laws and just pick the laws that you really, really want them to enforce. We all don't want to be murdered. We all don't want to be assaulted. These should be the top things, right? And after that, we all don't want to be robbed. You know, prostitution, drugs, things like this, those aren't real crimes, okay? Those are things that they can be dealt with in other ways. So if we cut back on the laws and then we told the cops, okay, here's the laws, these are the only ones we want you to enforce, and you got to respect the Constitution, we could solve so many of these problems. We could empty the jails. We could have a court system that wasn't overburdened with people and and didn't have enough resources to properly prosecute crimes, I mean, we could solve all the problems, but how will that get Democrats elected? Arkansas governor signs near total abortion ban into law. Well, Sargon of Akkad on the Lotus Eaters put it best. The Democrats have broken their promise on abortion. Bill Clinton had a compromise that worked. Safe, legal, and rare was the tagline. But Democrats have broken their promise, and now they're pushing and pushing. And they, in Virginia, you literally can have abortions up to the moment of birth. And there are some extreme leftists who want to push post birth abortions. No lie. So, I mean, this has gotten way out of hand. No one wants this kind of, no one. Only the most ardent leftists want these crazy abortion laws. But in response, because the federal government has gone completely out of whack, the states are now saying, well, F you, we'll make up our own abortion law. And because they're more right-wing, well, they're going further right. It's going to snap back. The Overton window is going to go swinging back right. Yeah. And all the people on Twitter are going to cry. Cognitive decline. Joe Biden's handlers push reporters out of hardware store. Man, that was an amazing video. Oh, here's another Biden thing. I covered the other one, but this one, Biden's dogs have been banned from the White House after aggressive behavior and a biting incident. Apparently one of his dogs bit a security guy, which leads me to believe that they just got these dogs so Biden would have dogs. They did some testing, found out everybody loves dogs. Oh, let's get Biden some dogs. And they got him some dogs so he could appear more human and likable. And now they've finally have to get rid of them because they're not Biden's dogs. I don't believe they're Biden's dogs now that there's been a biting incident. No. I either that or Biden barely talks, barely interacts with these dogs. They tried to pass on his foot injury, as being the fault of the dogs, which I also don't believe. But maybe the dogs were around him. They were trying to get the dogs used to him. Massive layoffs at Huffington Post after it pushed to deplatform right. Yeah, this is pretty funny. And considering the previous video where I talked about how all the freelancers are going to be outlawed, they're in real trouble. I mean, if you worked at the HuffPost and you made money, now you're in the Shark Tank, baby, and that's going away too. So you're going to be begging for a job. Guess you're going to be learning the code. Friggin' royal family. My God, this won't go away. Even the Lotus Eaters talked about the royal family today. I so don't care. One of my family members actually defended Markle today. I couldn't believe it. Look, in my view, Meghan Markle is... Everybody has a Meghan Markle in their family. They marry into a family, and then they want to be queen bee. And when they're not, it's, well, pay attention to me. Why isn't everybody helping me? I have so many problems. Her problems are everybody's problems. And until you satisfy her, nothing else matters. So she complains and complains and complains and cries and will do anything to get attention. And the more attention, the better. She is a classic spoiled, rotten woman. And she's being indulged, I think, beyond belief. It's not enough that she married a prince. Not good enough. Not good enough. It won't be good enough until they put the crown on her head. And even then, after a day, no, this isn't good enough. It'll never be good enough. Because I think the problem with a lot of these women is really the insecurities in them. They're insecure and they make their problems everybody's problems, so they feel more secure. If I have a problem and I'm insecure about the problem because maybe part of it's my fault or all of it, I can spread out the blame over other people and then blame, the help, and then it's their problem. It's their fault. not mine. I'm perfect. So yeah, I feel on the one hand I feel bad for Harry, but you know, uh, yeah, I picked wrong too, buddy. Get out, divorce now. It would be my response, but he's already had kids with her, so he's in it. He's in it for life, man. When he gets divorced, oh, it's gonna be a mess. He'll be ready to do anything the Queen says at that point. He'll just be like, okay, whatever you want me to do, I don't care. Get me out of this marriage. I'll come back. You can have all my money. Just get me out. Get woke, go broke. NBA All-Star ratings crash, hit all-time low. Couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of Chinese communist shills. Good. Go to China. Go to China. See how they treat you there. Would you just bring all your organizations to China and play there? Because that's the only people who are going to be listening to you. But keep being woke. I mean, keep screaming. Keep saying Black Lives Matter and all the things. And, we're all such terrible people. I guess your fans are too terrible to watch. So, guess you got no fans now. When all the pay cuts happen. Twitter sues Texas AG to halt probe into its suppression of free speech. Huh, that's interesting. I wonder how that's going to go for Twitter. Not too well, I'm imagining. Appeals court rules third-degree murder charge against Derek Chauvin shouldn't have been tossed. Interesting. I don't know if they're going to put this guy away or not. I mean, I think legally, the worst you could maybe get him on is like negligent homicide. But the evidence, in my view, all points to it was really bad, and he didn't help, but Floyd would have died anyway. So, I mean, he followed procedure. I don't see how. I mean, there are plenty of other. This is the sick thing about BLM. There's so many other cases that they're clear cut. You know, you look at Eric Gardner. Eric Gardner. I mean, you can see on the video they choked the poor bastard out, and in my view, that was horrible. That was horrific. That was bad. You know, in the case of George Floyd, I was like everybody else. First, I saw the video and said, "Oh my God," and then you see the whole video and you're like, oh, wait a minute. It wasn't that case, in my view, with Eric Gardner. But, you know, and I get it. There are way more cases. But where are the good cases? So many good cases of people, good, not meaning that they're good, but a case where it's like, Jesus, this was bad. This was a cop who went out of his way to kill somebody. Those never seem to get the attention. It's always these incredibly questionable cases with guys who are like, my God, you know, he was going to die anyway. He has to be put on the ground. The guy followed procedure. What was he supposed to do? Now imagine Floyd gets up and runs into traffic, gets hit by a car. He'd be charged too. He'd be in much worse trouble than I think he is. It's just like this mob mentality of like, well, we were mad, therefore he's got to go to jail. That's not what the evidence shows. CNN's Lemon, height of privilege for right to attacking Meghan Markle deny racism she faced. Look, most people, I mean, first off, you look at her kid, that kid's very white. He's very pale. I don't see how he's going to face any racism. I don't see how Meghan Markle's going to face racism. I didn't even know she was black. Is she black? I don't even know. Who cares? You're telling me someone's going to look at that gorgeous woman and go, oh, wow, I'm going to be racist against her. I don't think so. I don't think she's, you know, she's not like working a job somewhere for minimum wage and getting harassed by a customer or something. She's like married to a prince. It's just unbelievable, the people who defend her just because she went on TV and whined. Oh, I've only got millions of dollars and I live in a mansion in Los Angeles. Oh, it's me. The royal family didn't kiss my feet. Prosecutor, Governor Gretchen Whitman could face criminal charges. Hooray! The Wicked Witch of Michigan, I hope she goes down. Oh, it'd be great to see her go to jail. It'd just be wonderful. I don't think it's going to happen, but at the very least, you could recall her. That would be something, and never, ever elect her again. CDC director, we intend to take baby steps on what vaccinated people can do. Oh, good. I'm sure people will be listening to that come summer. Stephen Cohen introduces bill to rename FBI building after seeing movie. Representative Steve Cohen, Democrat from Tennessee, claims the film Judas and the Black Messiah inspired him to introduce a bill that would strip J. Edgar Hoover's name from the FBI building. Yeah, it wasn't all the information that everybody knew if you read anything about the history of the FBI. Oh, now suddenly there's a movie, therefore. I mean, I can't think of a less engaged way to do something that should have been done, like, I don't know, 40 years ago. I mean, they knew about J. Edgar back when I was growing up. I read about him in the 80s in college. Please, get on with it and stop grandstanding. Biden administration getting frantic over border non-crisis from WND. Yeah, I mean, it's a mess. They're just letting people in. They're not testing them. Biden's nominee for top civil rights post hyped the Jussie Smollett hoax. Well, of course. Of course, also from WND. Pentagon prepared to extend National Guard's presence at Capitol. I think they're going to be there for the entire presidency. I think they're going to be there until like maybe in 2022, if Congress flips, Congress may force whoever's president then, probably Kamala Harris, to she'll remove them as trying to like do something, but we'll see. We'll see. Space Jam star Gabriel Iglesias mocks calls to cancel Speedy Gonzalez. You can't catch me, cancel culture. Nice. He's funny. And I'm a big Looney Tunes fan. I love Looney Tunes. They were great. Pepe Le Pew, look, it's a joke. It's a joke. He's a skunk. He's a cartoon skunk. This is what we're canceling. Oh my God. He's trying to have sex with that cat who he thinks is a skunk. Yeah, he's an animal. He's a cartoon animal. He's not real. It's all a joke. Okay? It's all a joke. No one takes it seriously. No one takes a cartoon. No one watches Pepe Le Pew. I watched Pepe Le Pew when I was a kid. I didn't watch him going, ooh, I'm going to be like Pepe Le Pew. I didn't identify with a skunk. No one would. Not even a child. It's a joke. It was played for laughs. It was funny. The cat wasn't interested. It was a cat who didn't talk, by the way, which was weird. The cat should have said something. But the cat never talked, and it was always the same cartoon. It would be this cat who would, like, crawl under a fence or something that was just painted and end up giving herself a stripe. And then Pepe would see that and go, "Oh, a female skunk, aha!" Speedy Gonzalez, I don't know how you could say. I mean, look, he's got a Mexican accent and he's quick. The tropes were like some of the other characters, because some of the other Mexican characters, or the Mexican mice, were very slow. He had a cousin who was the opposite. He was like super slow. But again, it was all a joke. And they're mice. They're mice. They're not human beings. They're mice. No one watched Speedy Gonzalez and said, ooh. Although he kind of had superpowers, so maybe they said, oh, I want to be quick like Speedy, but that's about it. It's a joke. The whole thing's a joke. These Twitter idiots, these twidiots, have no sense of humor. Oh, God. Fashion notes. The missing drama of Meghan Markle's dramatic tell-all. I assume she has a book. Yeah, who cares? Colin Kaepernick's name emerges as possible replacement for Russell Wilson. Yeah, I'm sure bringing Kaepernick back onto a team won't cause any problems whatsoever. I'm sure that'll be great. Yeah, why don't you just kill the NFL while you're at it? White House returns portraits of Clinton, Bush to foyer. Okay. Did Trump remove them? I guess he did. All right. I guess you're big fans. Whatever. I assume you'll be putting Trump's portrait in the closet if he even got one. Queen hits back at Meghan claims some recollections may vary. Yeah, she's a liar. Probably is what she's saying. You can't beat the Queen. Come on, she's 94. She doesn't give an F. No one in 94 gives an F. Michelle Obama, Mia Hamm among 9 chosen for Women's HOF. What is HOF? Oh, Women's Hall of Fame. Okay, whatever. CNN's Jake Tapper accused of wanting to ban books after denouncing empirically racist Dr. Seuss titles. Jesus, Tapper. Can you pull it back just a little bit? Unbelievable. Chinese government-backed hackers go global with Microsoft Exchange breach. Oof. That's a big oof. Oof. Look. The Chinese, they've got money and people as resources. And they're using them. This makes total sense, right? You've got floor after floor after floor of computer guys. You just put them in there, and their job is to hack in and cause problems in America. I'm sure they're all over the internet. I know they're on Reddit. They're causing problems, and they're going to continue to cause problems because that's what the Chinese government wants for us. They want us to have problems, especially now. Now with Biden in there, now they can make their move. Meghan and Harry interview was designed to destroy monarchy, says Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is now getting canceled in his own country. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, but it's weird that he's being canceled for defending the royal family, which should be something you think the UK would be up on, but it's just weird. I mean, like Harry and Meghan, why don't you just go live your lives? Harry's worth $50 million. He lives in a $14 million mansion, and he had the gall to go in front of Oprah. Like, we don't know how we're paying our bills. You don't know how you're paying your bills with $50 million? Maybe start by buying a smaller place. Maybe your overhead's a little high if you only got $50 million and you just bought a $14 million mansion. Yeah, you're probably spending money like it's going out of style, and you've been cut off. You're going to be poor if you don't get a hold of your finances and invest. But I assume as a royal, you have no idea how to do that. So, good luck. Give some of the money to me. I'll invest it for you. I'll totally invest it for you. You can pay me $1 million a year. That seems fair. Arizona judge slams Capitol rioter who wore horns for 60 minutes interview from jail. Calls him detached from reality. Tomato, tomato. Oh, schoolgirl, this is in France, admits making up story that sparked campaign resulting in teachers Samuel Paty's beheading. That is not good. Not good. The unidentified girl has admitted that she did not attend class in which Pate showed supposedly depictions of the Prophet Muhammad, and that she was off to school that day. It's pretty horrific, man. That's awful. All right. And here's the other Disney story. Disney puts Dumbo under parental control because of troop of minstrel crows. The minstrel crows were like a classic running gag at Disney for a while. Also, the Aristocrats and a couple others are all coming with advisory warnings. I'm going to click on this one, even though it's the Daily Mail. It's going to be ads galore. Yeah, it's just, okay. So, here we go. The Aristocrats. Oh, man, that's a classic movie. They got a great song in that. So, let's see. We've got the whole list here. Disney has quietly pulled Dumbo, Peter Pan, Swiss Family Robinson, and The Aristocrats off the children's profile. The 4 films will remain on the adult profiles on Disney Plus, but now come with an advisory warning about the movie. Yeah, because when you think Disney, you think advisory warnings on movies that are only for adults. These movies won't hurt children. They don't. This is only like more woke nonsense. And the ironic thing, of course, is most of these woke idiots don't even have children. They're just, first off, most of them are children. There are a lot of woke idiots caught up in this who are very, very young. They think they're saving the world from racism, and they don't have any clue to the way the world works or the actual problems that are in it yet. They will, but by that time, it'll be another group of woke idiots that they've raised or spawned. So the cycle of wokeness continues, everybody. That's it for me. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my birthday. I hope you had a good day as I did, eating sushi and playing video games. I will see you tomorrow with Little Joan.